World Archery Excellence Centre for the 2020 Swiss National Championships. It's the second day of World Archery's remote live coverage test. The goal? To bring you more live coverage of the sport from around the world. We start Recurve Sunday with the women's medal matches. So without further ado, it's time for the Recurve Women's Bronze Medal match here in Lausanne. Well, I'm Karen Bashir, and joining me again today is Archery GB's John Knott. On a lively day yesterday, conditions are looking similar. Are we expecting more today?
Yep, it looks like we're going to have another exciting lineup of matches here today from the World Archery Excellence Centre, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what the archers can do.
Well, as you can see, the archers are almost standing on the shooting line. John, who is in our lineup for this match?
Yep, shooting for bronze, we have Valentine de Gouly against La Effa Mathieu.
There are the athletes being presented to the crowd here. The hashtag being used is hashtag back to archery, and what a place to start tournaments of this stature. Eleftheria Mathieu on target number 2. De Gouly on target number 1. It's time for set 1 of this bronze medal match. Well, the range is clear, and it will be Valentine de Gouly to shoot first. John, in these early stages, just give us a refresher on how points are scored in recurve archery.
Yep, they each shoot 3 arrows, which is a set, and the person with the highest score for 3 arrows will win 2 points. If both archers score the same, they'll win 1 point each, and you need 6 points to win.
Shooting over 70 metres, de Gouly shoots an 8 to start this bronze medal match off. Well, 6 was called there, but a 7 to me.
Definitely a 7.
Oh, I've got, it was set, of course, so they're speaking in French. Bit of an adjustment there, do you think, John?
Yeah, it's the first end. They're both going to be feeling some nerves. They'll have been warming up over the far side of the range, and you're never sure if things are the same.
Mathieu just making an adjustment to her sight there. As I said, just shooting over 70 metres, and bright conditions here, but has been a little bit gusty over the tournament. Now, de Gouly is questioning what's going on here. The count clock of 20 seconds, which you can see in front of you, the red light next to it, has not started. So a little bit of a technical glitch. And there we go, green light. Final arrow from de Gouly. You can get the points here in this first set with a 9. John, any ideas of what might be going on here? Why there's such a delay?
It's just a timing problem with the clocks, and it's really hard for the athletes because they just want to shoot their arrows, yeah, but they also have to shoot them in the rules. So it's about maintaining composure when things like this happen and be ready to go as soon as things are resolved, and not get frustrated.
Well, it looks like they're going to reset the clock here to 20 seconds. And there we go. Third and final arrow of this set for Valentine de Gouly. Another delay. You can hear the alarm going off there. The timing system is critical here. John, whilst we wait for this to be sorted out, we did get a couple of wide shots there, and I'm seeing signs of a bit of blustery wind again.
Yeah, it's very tricky against the side of a big building like that because it can make the wind turn. So you think everything's going to go left, but it'll go right. Good shot.
Well, 3/8 there for a 24. 10 required from Mattiatu to draw level. It's only a 9, and that's a 23 for Mattiatu. So the first 2 set points go to Guli. We'll take a look back over this. Well, a bit of a wobble on that first shot from De Guli. Is that nerves or is that the conditions?
It's just settling into the conditions and the unknown. Because, as I said, you come in onto this range, you want everything to be right, but you don't know until you make that perfect first shot. And if your arrow doesn't land where you're expecting, it can cause uncertainty for later shots. So you want to start well. Very important.
Well, the line judge is back out. Scores always confirmed in archery, but I think most of those were pretty clear. And the trailing archer always shoots first in each set. It is time for set number 2. There was a quick retrieval of the arrows, but the line judge is just waiting for the range to be safe. And I'm just wondering now whether we may be experiencing more of the timing issues. Well, there's confirmation from the announcer. The first 2 set points go to De Guli, so it will be Eleftheria Mattiatu to shoot first. John, the great thing about recurve archery, the Olympic discipline, of course, is that you reset to 0 for each set. So there's a big chance for recovery every time.
Yep. The big difference is, obviously, with the recurve, you can have a disaster arrow, and it's only going to cost you that set. Obviously, with the compound yesterday, you have a disaster arrow, it's going to cost you the match.
Well, marked as a 7, very close to the 8 ring. And in archery, if you hit the ring, you get a higher score. And that's a first 9 for Valentina De Guli. Well, as you can see, that one also on the 7/8 line, given as an 8 for De Guli. Just a shot there, John.
That's nice timing there from Eleftheria. She's getting better.
Another 9, and currently is going to be marked as a 27. I'm wondering whether it's actually a 26. What are your thoughts on that for De Guli? I mean, it's still obviously still enough.
I'd mark it down as a 25.
Really? Wow.
998 I gave her. Oh no.
26 then.
Yeah, he's more experienced. Just suggesting that there's going to be 1 arrow from each of the archers just being checked. That's what it looked like for us, but the agents have retrieved those arrows. We wait for a confirmation of the score. And the points go to De Guli. So we go straight to set number 3.
John, the pressure really on here because of the way the scoring works in recurve archery. Deguli can do this in 3 sets.
Yeah, you can get the 3-set win here. The big turner in recurve, sometimes I find.
Not a great big opportunity now for Valentin Deguli. So 3-point advantage after just 1 arrow here. This could be over in this set. Our first 10-0 for Tiatu. Just what she needed. Still 2 points clear for Deguli. So another good arrow for Matiatu required just to put a bit more pressure on Deguli. And that's drifted out into the 7. So a 23. This can be done with a 6. And it's a third 9 of the set. A 27 is more than enough for Valentin Deguli to take the bronze medal in the recurve women's tournament at the Swiss National Championships of 2020. John, shaky start from Eleftheria Matiatu, and it was capitalised on immediately by Deguli.
Yeah, we're going to put that one down as consistency is the key to the win. Valentin, she's got 5 arrows in the 9, and 4 arrows in the 8. Really consistent shooting, and just enough to see her opponent off to win the bronze.
Yeah, shaky start, but as you said, John, Deguli with the more experience, and it showed in that bronze medal match. Now, there's an interesting markup on the scoreboard there of a 5-1. John, that looks like a mistake to me.
I think that'll probably come down to that second set. Remember when everyone was a bit uncertain? But
interesting here.
The athletes are sure that it's all over.
Well, they were ready to, bump elbows. If the score in the second set was measured as a 25 place 25, on the scoreboard it said 4-0. It would have been 3-1. And it was 3-1 after that second set, even though the scoreboard said 4. That means the score is now 5-1. Still massive advantage for Deguli, but both athletes thought Deguli had taken. Now Eleftheria has to set herself. It's time for set number 4. Well, a surprise here for Eleftheria Mathieu. She's been given a second bite of the cherry. A solid 9 to start. She cannot afford to give any more set points away. Steady again from Valentin Deguli. John, mixed emotions for both athletes here, right?
Well, Deguli's got to keep her calm, and Eleftheria's got a chance to come back from the dead.
Saw from the look on her face after she released that arrow, she wasn't happy with it. First 10 for Deguli. She has settled herself. She thought she'd won it in the last set, only for the scores to be revised in the second set. And an 8 there. So 24. Surely this is going to get done now. Bit of a risk, but there is another 9 and a 28 to finish things off. Finally, for Valentin Deguli. She has taken bronze at the second time of asking in the recurve women's tournament at the Swiss National Championships. Well, it was interesting on Compound Saturday, John. It's already started interesting on Recurve Sunday.
It just keeps on giving so far this weekend, isn't it, Grim? No, that was great there for Valentine. Sometimes you can let things like that affect you. She didn't. She actually got even better. She got her first 10 of the match and finished off with her last 7 arrows all inside the gold. And that is really high standard archery.
Well, brilliant stuff there. Valentine Gili, having thought she'd won it in 3, had to come back out for the 4th. And as John Knott said, she showed her class and finally took the bronze medal in the Recurve Women's Swiss National Championships, 7 points to 1. And there we finally have the elbow bumps. Bronze medal done. So we are going to move on to the Recurve Women's Gold Medal match. John, the athletes are already out on the field of play. Who have we got lined up for this gold medal match?
Yeah, shooting for gold, we have Simone Gerster and Maxine Pichonard.
So it's Gerster on target number 1, and that's Maxine Pichonard on target number 2. Athletes will grab their bows. It's shooting time here for gold, and it's time for set number 1. Gerster shot a 5.98 in the qualification round, ranked number 1, so had the choice whether to shoot first, and that is exactly what she has. Gerster to get the gold medal match. Well, great start from Gerster with a 9, just dropping though into the 8 there. Perhaps a little bit of tension. A little wobble on the stabilizer there for Maxine Pichonard. Not happy with that, but it's into the 9. Early signs of nerves here?
Yeah, that looked a bit shaky, that second shot there. Gerster looked quite settled, I think.
Well, progressively dropping low, getting an 8 on the score there. Well, another 7, so a 23 provisionally for Pichonard. She's adjusting her sight as well. Interesting little grouping though from Pichonard. If she could just move them up and to the right a bit, John, she's going to be getting much better scores.
And that's the experience from being on this kind of what we call a finals field, is being able to react very quickly and knowing if it's you or if it's just the different conditions. Highly experienced athletes and know they've made a good shot and they can alter where their arrows are striking. But if you're a little nervous and it gets away so quick, you'll miss it and you'll miss on that on the points.
We'll take a look back. Esther also having a little wobble there, but that was her first arrow and straight into the... You see those stabilizers on Pichonard's bow, and it grimaced immediately knowing it's not right. It didn't make a big adjustment after the first set. It's time for set number 2. So Gerster claiming the first 2 set points. So Maxine will get us underway for set number 2 of this gold medal match. John, now Maxime Pichonard made a massive adjustment on her sight by the looks of things. You know, I see a little twizzle on the sight, but she seemed to give it a good couple of turns. And now everything is high and right. Has she over-adjusted?
I think all her form is coming back to normal. So when you tension, it gets into your shot, it moves your arrows as well. So there's 2 things going on for her right now. Like Gerster is settled and just slips on cruise control almost.
Got into a rhythm, hasn't she? Oh, look at the shake there. Oh, but look at the result. A fabulous result. A 25 after only getting 15 in the first 2 arrows. Little bit of pressure on Gerster, but she's hit her stride, as John Knott has already said.
Oh.
Drifting out into the 7. She needed an 8 to take the points by my reckoning. John,
Correct.
was that 10? Did the throw off a stride?
I think, yeah, it did. Because she'll have heard the announcer say 10, and all of a sudden, it's the first time in this match she dealt with the pressure. And that is what putting pressure on your opponent can do. It's the smallest thing that can be relaxed now and be more confident in herself now she's down the 10.
Well, as our resident expert here at the Swiss National Championships, John Knott, has said, this is a championships that keeps on giving. What looked like a home run for Simone Gerster saw a share of the set points, and Pichonard is off the mark. It's time for set number 3. So still trailing 3 points to 1, but a 10 from Pichonard will give her a bit more confidence going into this 3rd set. On the line, that's a 10 for John. What's going through Gerster's mind at the moment?
She's going to be, can to keep this up? I've got to shoot better. It's all the just controlling the doubt, having confidence. A decent line there.
Dropped into the 7 there. A little grimace after 2 consecutive 10s for Pichonard. Slightly longer hold there, John, from Gerster. Worked out, though.
Still solid form.
So a 10 to get the points here in this. And she has got them. A 27 can't be matched by Gerster. If I've got my... No, I've got that slightly wrong. A 10 is required to get the points, and 9 will be a share. And it is a 10. So what a recovery after an 8 to start that set. Gerster has taken it by a single point, but the best score from Pichonard. The score moves on to 5-1, subject to confirmation. This is a real topsy-turvy match, isn't it?
But for me, both athletes shooting way above the standard they've got in qualification, and that happens in match play. They're shooting a lot of 10s, which is really exciting, and they're exchanging the pressure across each other a lot here.
Yeah, that's a big thing in archery, isn't it? You take your shot and the pressure switches over to your opponent, and of course you're standing just a few yards away from them. And we wait for confirmation here. it's time for set number 4. Maxine Pichonat trailing will shoot first, and John, there are signs of a little bit of stress on her face going into this set.
Definitely. Strong start needed.
Well, at the moment, you can't tell whether an 8 is a good shot or a bad shot because, as John said, the pressure seems to be moving from one side to the other. Well, that's drifted way off to the right, and now there's a moment for Esther to just relax. All she has to do is tie on points to take the Swiss national title of 2020. An 8, well, it's marked as a 9, more than enough. Nine, best arrow of this set, but a 23, surely even with a bad shot from Gerster, is achievable. And it's the best for last, a 28 for Simone Gerster, and provisionally she is the 2020 Recurve Women's Swiss champion. A hugely entertaining match, John, as we wait for the arrows to be retrieved and the scores to be confirmed, but that does look like a win for Simone Gerster.
Absolutely, there, Corinne. Really high standard archery from Simone Gerster. He had 9 of the 12 arrows inside the goal, finishing with a 29 and 28 end. Really high level, good performance, and her opponent just couldn't keep up the consistency to keep up with her.
Well, Pichonat looked nervy. Youngster, this will give her great experience, but it is Simone Gerster who is the 2020 Swiss national champion as we look back on some of the shots in that match. One tricky set there. The third set for Simone Gerster, but otherwise it was, like you say, very, very high quality.
Yeah, just the second set when Pichonat put in a bit of a surprise 10 from nowhere, and I just think that Gerster thought about it, that one arrow, and it was a tied set where she could have easily won that set. But other than that, she was absolutely solid. 11 of her arrows inside the 8 or better.
Well, the women's medals are sorted out. It's time for the Recurve men's bronze medal match. John, athletes have already been introduced to the crowd. Who have we got in the lineup here?
We have Kazaya Chabin and Thomas Hubert.
So, Kazaya Chabin on target number 1. He'll shoot second. It's Thomas on target number 2, who'll shoot first for bronze. It's time for set number. Oberher shot a 6.37 in qualification to be ranked second. Just trying to pull that one a little bit across. It ends up in the 7 as he adjusts his sights. Chabin shot a 6.17 to be ranked 5th through qualification, and he starts with a 9. Solid start from Chabin. John, of course, we know Thomas Ober from elsewhere, don't we?
Yeah, he's the World Archery Events Director, but he is also a hugely experienced international athlete with world, European medals, World Cup medals. So he's going to be a strong favourite, but Chabin started really well.
drifting out into the 8. And the scores are level at 26 apiece. It was a phenomenal start for Chabin. It's a very cool, calm and collected Aubert here on target number 2. He wasn't really distracted very much. Was certainly not showing any emotion after that 7 to get started. Just waiting for the scores to be confirmed. Any questionable arrows or marks there, John?
Right, Chabin's one could have. I put it down as a potential 9-10 liner, so I did wonder if you might steal the set.
We're still waiting for confirmation, but it is Aubert to shoot first again. It's time for set number 2. Well, a 9 to start. We believe that the scores were 26 apiece in the first set. And that's why you've got 1 set apiece as Chabin shoots an 8 for his first arrow. John, consistency the key here in this sport. And, well, on cue, Thomas Aubert puts 2 arrows very close to each other. He does look to just have a bit more of a consistent flow to him.
Yeah, as I said, Tomo is super experienced and he just looks so calm out there. It's hard to say he doesn't care, but this isn't going to be the most important match of his life, where Chabin is desperately trying to win a bronze at his national championship.
Looks like another 26 from Aubert. 998. And 2 10s from Chabin has taken the set for me, 28 points to 26. As the scoreline suggests, of course, we wait for information, but that would mean that Chabin has taken a 3 set point to 1 lead. And certainly the scoreboard at the end of the field suggests that. Would you agree there, John?
Yeah, 100%. Tomo's first 2 arrows were in the left 9. So it's disappointing to see him go even lefter on his 3rd arrow. But you can see the shade is starting to come out now from the building over the target. And that will affect a bit how, when you're aiming, where your arrows go left and right, if that's changing during your shot.
Well, we go straight into set number 3. Aubert now trailing by 2 set points. Will shoot first and needs to start well here. Little grimace there, but he's got a 9. So mini opportunity. Line, so gets a 9. Another bit, a little bit more pressure. Well, that's all square now. Aubert's consistency is required here. He needs to put some pressure down. And that on the 7-8 line. He's having a good look at that scope. Marked as an 8 at the moment. But that's on the 9-10 line, and I fancy that will be marked as a 10. So a 28 for Chabin. For me, John, would you agree that whatever happens to that 7-8, that's another 2 set points for Chabin?
Definitely. He's a cool little customer, isn't he? Shooting 4 10s in his last 6 arrows. That's piling the pressure onto Thomas, and Thomas has to come out with some 10s in this next set, or it's going to be over before we can do anything about it.
We'll take a look back over the plays here. There was a little grimace from Ober. The first time in the match that we've seen any kind of reaction from him. For that last arrow drifting out, and now he's facing an uphill struggle. It's time for set number 4. Again, another one. I think that's going to be marked as an 8. But just starting to show signs of some emotion, distracting. And it's another 10. That's the 3rd in a row from Kazaya Charbin. Great comeback from Ober. He looks down the sight just to confirm it. Now, we saw a 10 earlier on, putting pressure on an opponent. Will it happen for Charbin here? Well, John, Ober needs to put down a big score here, because all Charbin has to do is match him, right?
Absolutely. Thomas needs a 10.
So a 24. 19 on the scoreboard. 5 is enough. And it's a 9. And Kazaya Charbin saved his best for last in this bronze medal match, getting back-to-back 28s, in fact 3 in a row, to take the Recurve men's bronze at the National Championships, 7 points to 1. We will wait for confirmation, but that stray arrow that drifted over into the blue, I think is very telling, John.
Absolutely. Thomas did not have an answer at all for Charbin. Charbin just looked so composed in that match. Really impressive. 5 10s he shot in there. 28, 28, 28 for the last 3 sets. Thomas just had nothing to come at him with. A very impressive performance.
Yeah, it was an impressive performance. So we talked about the consistency of Ober not showing any emotion until just towards the end of the 3rd set. And Charbin, well, came through qualification 5th, and he's battled his way through to take the bronze here in Lausanne. Bronze sorted. It's already time for the 4th and final match of this session. It's the men's gold medal match. John, we saved the best for last here. Who's in our lineup?
We have Thomas Rufer against Florian Faber.
So Thomas Rufer shooting a 6.48 in qualification to be ranked 1st. And Florian Faber shot a 6.28, was ranked 3rd, shoots on target number 2. Well, it won't be long. Let's call it. It's time for set 1 of the Recurve men's gold medal match. Range clear, as called by the judge. Rufer, a higher seed, has chosen to shoot first. Let's get this gold medal match underway. So, John, in the early stages of this gold medal match, we see some very quick shooting from both archers here. What are you expecting?
I think we're going to see quite a high-level match here. They both look really settled. They're both very experienced athletes, travelled the world. They've both settled straight into the yellow, and that's important.
Well, an 8, and he's definitely got 1 point. Rufer, a 9, and he's got both the first 2 set points. And that looks like another 10. So a 29. Even if it's a 28, it can't be matched by Florian Faber. And look just how quickly this gold medal is going. Set number 1. Already done, but a 10 to finish off for Faber. Well, you said high quality. It's. Go ahead, Johnny. You were going to say something.
Yeah, that'll really settle him down, though. I know he can win the set. Shoot the 10, then he knows he's set and he's ready. I have noticed Tomau was having, in the previous match, going left on target number 2, and that's where Faber is a bit as well. So they're just centering up.
Well, what's impressive about this match, Don, and we were talking beforehand about the quality of this men's gold medal match, is not just the scoring, it's the speed and the rhythm of that they're shooting. Is that something you often see at the highest world level?
Yeah, it is. More experienced people will be able to maintain their proper form at this level, where you're not used to having cameras and shooting on the 20-second finals. You can tense up, and like we saw earlier with the one lady who was very nervous in a match.
Well, it's time for set number 2. Florian Faber trail by 2 set points to 0. So he will get us underway in set number 2. And that's a close one. Called a 9. I wonder whether that's going to be measured, though. Another close one, but that one looks more solid for me. What are your thoughts on those first 2 arrows for Florian Faber, John?
They look good, and I think that's the result of him having that last arrow in there.
Well, Faber on for a potential maximum 30, subject to a measure of the first arrow. But he's dropped that one into the 7. So provisionally on a 26. And a 10. Well, that will do it. That is a 29. Whatever that first arrow from Florian Faber, a 9 or a 10. And there's another 2 set points for Rufer. Rufer just looks unfazed. It's almost like shooting practice.
Yes, Faber's going to be really mad with himself there, because he was in control of that set, holding 2 10s. He knew he could close him out, but he knew he needed to be at least a 9 or a 10. And a little bit of pressure, weak shot, he gets a 7, and then Tomo Rufer comes in and just nails in that 10. That's going to hurt Faber. He needs to pick himself up now, or this is going to be over.
Well, it could be over in 3. It is Florian Faber who will shoot first, and for set number 3 of this gold medal match. Well, one stray arrow from Faber in the second set has put him under immense pressure here. He needs a good start. Didn't look too happy, but that's a solid 9. And the first venture into the red rings for Thomas Rufer. Opportunity awaits for Faber. It's another 9. back into the yellow, but trailing by 1 and makes a little adjustment. So Faber can put this one out of reach with a 10. Not happy. That looks like it's another 9, so a 27. Well, a 9 means a 26 for Faber after an 8 in his first arrow, and subject to confirmation, I think that's 2 set points to Faber. John, your thoughts?
I agree. Faber managed to hold 3 9s there. I thought on the third shot then, I thought, oh no, he's done it again, but he managed to catch the 9. And you could see it wasn't clean when he shot it. Recurve lost that amazing accuracy he had in the first 2 ends, and the match is wide open again.
Well, it's been an interesting set of medal matches here throughout the weekend at the Swiss National Championship 2020. And we've been taken into a 4th set here in the men's gold medal match. Well, Faber's got points in the 3rd set, but still trails, as you can see. So he will shoot first again. Didn't look happy with that, and that's why. So now the opportunity moves over to Thomas Rufer. And he's back in the middle. What pressure now on Florian Faber, John?
Has to keep hands now. Only way.
Not happy, and that's drifted over to the right. Still in the 8, though. Looks relaxed, back into his rhythm. I think that hit the first arrow and just got diverted into the 8. Oh, he's making an adjustment. Faber needs a good arrow here to put some pressure on. Not happy. It's a 9. So a 25 scored for Florian Faber. 7 for set points tied. 8 for the gold medal and the national title. He has just got the 8. That is a 20. Well, it's been as a 25. John, help me out here. What's going on?
Like 10, 8, 8 to me. We'll see. Just wait for the judges to confer what they see up there. But I found it fascinating that Faber was telling us where the arrows were with his expression. There you go. Confirmed. Faber.
Target judge. Yeah, it took him 4 sets. It was a mini comeback from Florian Faber in the 3rd to force it into the 4th, but it's a 6-2 win for Thomas Rufer. He is now 2020 Recurve Men's Swiss national champion. Well, another incredible match. John, you said it was going to be high quality, and it certainly was.
Yeah, Rufer came out swinging, didn't he, with a lot of 10s. Just managed to hold in there. Faber, frustration all over his face all the time. Never really got in his rhythm. Rufer did enough just to see the match out.
Yeah, we look back over it. Just that 2 journeys into the 8 for Rufer's last arrow was an 8. But as John said, enough to take the gold here in the Recurve Men's Tournament in Lausanne, and celebrates with the socially distanced crowd here as we make our return back to archery. Another fabulous day from the Swiss Archery Championships. In the women's recurve, Simone Gister took the gold, Maxine Pichonat silver, and Valentine Duguli with the bronze. In the men's, it was Thomas Rufer with gold, Florian Faber with the silver, and Keziah Charbin with the bronze. John, your final thoughts?
Yeah, been a fabulous 2 days. Interesting matches, lots of twists and turns, and great to be back to archery.
It certainly is. To you, John Knott, and thanks to all of you for watching. We'll be back very soon.